Hi guys, I'm back, sort of, maybe, making this tag and then we'll see what I'll do next. Before I start with the bi book tag, I wanted to briefly say Black Lives Matter. They still do, they always will. And it's up to all of us to make sure that everybody knows that. I'm going to leave the links that are being circulated down in the description if you haven't seen them. But I'll also say that I think it can be tempting to just say I'm going to donate a bit, which obviously if you can, you should. You should also do that in like 6 months or 2 years and not just stop once we have stopped talking about it, which we also shouldn't. I think it's tempting to say I've done my bit, I've talked about it, so now I can just go back to business, and that's not what we should do. We should change our behaviour in a way that lasts. I've already tried to read more books by people of colour and black people specifically. Haven't done too great so far, I'll be honest. I do try and learn more and more about racism, and especially in the ways it intersects with other identities as well, and how it works in different countries. 2 books I can recommend, Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Reni, Eddo-Lodge, which is about racism in Britain. It's quite a comprehensive thing. I would also recommend Deutschland Schwarz, weiß by Leora for anyone who speaks German. It's written in a really witty way. It's addressed to white people, white Germans. You will have to confront things that are probably not comfortable to confront, but that's on us. This system, even if it wasn't built by us as like the person that I am, it was still built by fellow white people. I'm the one profiting, and I'm the one who is sort of implicitly holding the system up, so it's also on me and on us to break it down again. And if black people are already making the effort of informing people, then it's on us to inform ourselves and to seek these resources out, because they're out there, and to confront it and to, you know, be anti-racist and educate ourselves. Obviously, do read up on racism, inform yourselves, and keep doing that. Don't just stop because nobody's actively telling you to anymore in 2 months' time or something. But as people have pointed out, black people have pointed out, it is also important to read from black people and about black people outside of their suffering and just topics surrounding racism. We should also just read and celebrate black joy, and I'll try and do both better than I have so far. And yeah, I'm sure you'll see that I'll do that. And if you don't, feel free to shout at me, honestly, you know, because that's not a thing I should be slacking on. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that for now. Again, do inform yourselves, donate if you can, go to protests if you can safely do so, all of that. Yeah, okay, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say about that. I hope I have. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the actual tag. Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm bisexual. You probably did not know this because I don't actually talk about it on the internet with my face attached to it, which is obviously going to change now. I'm bisexual. Great, okay, awesome. I don't have a bi pride flag. You do, however, have this great sticker, so I'll put it here and it's gonna be there and just remind us of how bisexual I am. Cool, great. Okay, so let's get into the tag. It was made by Leora over on Books with Leo. Thank you for making this tag. It's really sweet, it's really cool, and I'm excited to make it. So let's get cracking. The first one is confusion. A lot of people think bisexuals are just confused. Spoiler alert, we're not. And I'm confused about a lot of things, and my sexuality is not one of them. But sometimes sexuality can be a confusing thing when you're just figuring it out. Why can I not read today? Jesus. Name a book character who is also going through a journey of figuring things out. For this one, I chose Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers, specifically the character Sidra. I will not say more about that. It's not about sexuality. That's the second part in the Wayfarer series. It does connect to The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. You should read that first. And it's also great. But I also really enjoyed this one. It's slow. and it mainly deals with two characters in alternating viewpoints. I thought it was really cool, especially the figuring herself out part. I still love the world building. I admire Becky Chambers. The idea that's in this specifically that I cannot mention because I don't want to spoil. Yeah, I'm very impressed with what she does, and it's great. Next one. First crush. The first queer crush. Name a book with a character in it that totally made you swoon. So I would like that to be a female character, because obviously I'm a woman. I would like that to be a female character, you know, first crush, that queer crush, you get it. But I chose a guy, which is valid, because I'm bisexual. Apparently won't ever shut up about it again, so here we are. We opened the box of Pandora, which is funny, considering I'm going to talk about Percy Jackson. So, specifically, Percy in Heroes of Olympus series. This is the second part, The Son of Neptune, because this is the part where he appears for the first time in this series. I know that Percy is younger than me. In this book he's 16, but close to 17, which is younger than me, and I wouldn't actually date someone who's that much younger than I am. Because no, I'm in my early 20s, not for me. But I will say that that has been a long-standing crush. I think it started when I read the Percy Jackson series, where Percy is 12, and I was also 12 when I read that. I've always had that sort of crush on Percy, because he's a really funny character. He's sort of this funny mix of sort of badass and really capable, and at the same time really goofy and a bit stupid sometimes. And it's just, where was it? Somebody was like, the stupidest smart characters. Oh, the smartest stupid characters? Which is fair enough. They're just dumbasses. They're very capable, but they're absolute dumbasses. Coming out. That moment when you're ready to acknowledge your sexuality. Name a book that made you want to scream and gush on the top of your lungs about to everyone you know. For this one, I chose Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I really like the character. I slapped myself in the eye. Good. It's really heartfelt. It's really funny. I really like the characters. It's about an angel and a demon, and they want to save the world from Armageddon because they actually quite like it, even though they're on their opposite sides. What I actually quite liked was sort of a throwaway thing, I guess, but at some point they're talking about Aziraphale, and they're saying that essentially angels don't have a gender. Yeah, and I just thought that was kind of cool. I mean, he presents male, but he doesn't have a gender, actually. And that's, I don't know, I just thought that was nice. Obviously, that's not, can we consider that proper representation? Probably not. But still, I thought that was kind of neat. And it's also still really funny, and I vibed with it a lot. Next one. Recognition. Unfortunately, bi-erasure is still a thing. Name a book that made you feel seen and valued, understood. For this one, I have Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Everybody and their grandma has heard about this book. It's about the first son of the United States, and there's like an altercation with the Prince of Wales because they don't like each other, and to make sure that doesn't actually lead to an international incident, they have to pretend to be friends. And then there's more, because this is a rom-com and that's how that works. And it's very funny, and I loved it so much, but also I related to Alex a lot. Just, I guess, sort of his outlook on life and his goals. Even though I feel like character-wise we're quite different, I related to him a lot on that level. He's also bi, so that's good and important representation, obviously. I don't know what I want to add, but I don't want this to end. Okay. It's also very floppy. Next one is 50-50. Sexuality is fluid and so is bisexuality. Almost no one is 50-50. Name a book about which you're unsure whether you love or hate it. Your own 50-50 opinion-wise. For this one, it's a bit different. This is a non-fiction book. It's Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. I haven't finished it yet, but there's a reason for that. And the reason is that while she's talking about women, she seems to only be talking about cis women, because she doesn't mention trans women in the beginning when she's talking about sex and gender in society. She just doesn't mention them. And she talks about other intersections of female identity and, for example, race and sexuality and disability, but she doesn't mention trans women. I had a bad feeling about it, so a friend of mine actually checked and there seemed to be some transphobic tweets in her past. Again, I haven't looked this up myself, I don't want to start shit, but it's something I just want people to be aware of when they start reading this, because especially if you take it as like oh, this is a good foundation, then you come away from this book not knowing that trans women exist. And that's not good, because they do, and they're oppressed. That's why I'm torn on this, because the data and the discussions of the data and all of it is really comprehensive and really good, but if it doesn't include trans women, then it's incomplete and wrong, and then I don't know what to do with it. So that's why I've only read the first 70 pages. But those 70 pages have been really informative on presumably cis women. If somebody has an opinion on that, please do tell me, because I don't know what to do. I don't know. Okay, the last one. Community. Finding a place in a community can be hard. Sometimes I feel like I'm too gay for the straight people and too straight for the gay people. But in the end, it's all about finding the right people in life that love you. Sexuality doesn't define you. Name a book with an amazing group of friends / community. I will say that, yeah, that is a thing that I've experienced too before, and it's not great. And if that's happened for you, I'm really sorry. That shouldn't be the case. And I promise you there's people out there that accept you the way you are, and for whom you're the very right amount of everything. You'll be fine. Why am I being sappy? I don't know. For this one, actually, some of the other ones would have also worked. For example, Red, White and Royal Blue has a great friendship dynamic. But I would like to raise another one of Becky Chambers' books, which is Wayfarers 3, Record of a Spaceborne Few, which I also thoroughly enjoyed. It's, again, only loosely connected to the first part. Basically, in the universe Becky Chambers has created, humans fled from Earth, and the last humans that left Earth did so on big spaceships, and they lived on those spaceships for quite some time until they reached other species in the universe, and now their spaceships aren't actually traveling anymore. They've reached their destination, and now it's about what is going to happen to the communities on there, sort of, because they've been there for a while, and sort of what's the point? And that's really cool thing to think about, just as a concept. The themes, again, in this book, great. I thought the community in here was really cool, is really close-knit, it works in really cool ways. I just admire Becky Chambers for world building. I don't know how she does it. It's so awesome. I want to be there. It's, oh my god. Yeah. Read this, please. Once you've read The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet, because again, there's spoilers of that in here. Small ones, but you don't want to get spoiled like that, so trust me. Okay, that was that, the buy book tag. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again to Leora for making this tag. I'm going to leave the questions in the description. I'm also going to link her video below, and feel free to do it if you're bi. I mean, I don't know, maybe also if you're not bi. I don't know, I don't make the rules. Consider yourself tagged if you want to, and make the video. Let me know if you've done so, because I want to see. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. And again, check out all the resources in the description and inform yourselves. We need to be better as a society. We need to improve, and it's on us individually. So yeah, that was very bisexual of me. Now I'm gonna stop. Bye.